The next year, then WrestleMania 15. Like I said, the vibe was very different because the WWF now had regained that number one spot. Going into that show, was there a different atmosphere backstage because you'd kind of clawed back that number one spot?
Bro, I don't think it really had to do with the number one spot, but the boys are always happy when they're making money. And
Right.
bro, during that time, everybody was making money, man. Everybody in that locker room was making money. And bro, when they're making money, they're happy. So it wasn't really about becoming number one again. It really wasn't about that. It was just everybody, was into it. Everybody believed it. Everybody was making money. Therefore, everybody was happy.
What are some of your favorite memories from that show?
Which one?
WrestleMania 15.
Is that was that Austin and Sean?
Austin Rock, the first time
Austin
they
Rock.
fought.
Bro, I swear, like everybody finds this hard to believe, but bro, like WrestleManias and shows like that never stood out to me because you're writing a show every single week. So what happens is like something like WrestleMania, man, it just really turns out to be another show because, my emphasis is the next day because now you're starting a new chapter on Raw the next day. So like in my mind, before WrestleMania starts, it's already over. It's finished. I know what
Right.
the finishes are. I know where we're going. So now I'm really concentrating on the TVs after WrestleMania. So I swear, man, believe it or not, WrestleManias were really just showing up for another show.
Well, of course, because you've got less. When that final bell rings, you've got less than 24 hours to then write Monday Night Raw.
Well, it's already written, bro. But I mean, you're fine tuning and you're constantly working on it all the time. But yeah, you really don't have time to stop and smell the roses, man. You really don't.
When, like I said, that main event, Rock versus Austin, that was the first time that they'd really fought on that level. The main event scene. What were some of the similarities and differences when you were writing for those two?
Wow. There were a lot of differences and similarities. I think what happened to Steve is, bro, he achieved success as Stone Cold Steve Austin so quickly that he was afraid he was going to lose it just as fast. So he was very, 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 very paranoid. And when you would write with him for him, he would overanalyze it sometimes to the point of like, finding a problem just to find a problem because he was
Right.
overanalyzing everything. And I understood why. I totally got it. I totally understood it. But I used to, have to say, no, Steve, this is good for you. And this is why. And he never fought me on anything. He would eventually wind up going pretty much with everything. Rock, on the other hand, was just so freaking smart, where he would always take what I wrote and he would always add his little ideas to it, his little catchphrases to it. He would always take the material and always find a way to make the material better. So it was really, man, it was great working with both of those guys, but it was definitely a different experience working with them individually.